It's wonderful to be back home at Amberlea with you this morning. We had an amazing time in Guatemala.
We're talking about the house building. Now, for most of you to understand, this would be a large garden shed. Okay, there's no heat, no electricity, and no running water.
We had made arrangements for our group to distribute 150 food bags to the families in the village of Vuelta Grande.
I love libraries, and most of you know I'm lucky enough to work in one. And so it was a great privilege to be able to work and give a helping hand to the community library in Paramos.
When we weren't doing other activities, planned activities with the school or in neighboring villages, we were painting a really big fence.
One of the cooks had a huge pot like this on the wood-burning stove. And we added some skim milk powder and sugar and water and cinnamon and some rice. And this was the hot drink for the children in the afternoon.
Our craft that we taught was a basic embroidery stitch called the colonial knot. They covered a small piece of cloth with different colors of colonial knots, which gives the effect of a small flower garden.
As part of our mission, there was a request for a workshop for AOJ's social work team.
I also got to lead a session on photography, which is a subject which is very near and dear to my heart, and I was able to share some of my passion with the social workers there at the Arms of Jesus.
We had a lively game of soccer with the kids and had the opportunity to meet the teachers and tour the classrooms. You could really feel the love of the teachers and the kids.
One morning we were given the opportunity to meet and play with some of the children who were in need of sponsors.
They have a couple of cameras there already, so they were a little bit familiar with how they work, but I think what I was able to share with them was just some basic photography techniques to help them improve the quality of their pictures.
They are now equipped to teach the students how to make that, and then they can maybe add this as an item to their market, because we had the opportunity on, I think it was Tuesday morning, to shop in the AOJ market, and they had some lovely handmade items there, and then all the money that they make then goes back into the mission.
For the 4 families, we each gave them table and chairs, cupboard and dressers. We gave them gifts of homemade quilts, clothing, and some toys for the kids.
The food bags consisted of smaller bags of rice, beans, flour, a small bottle of oil, and other items. Sponsorship covers some of the basic necessities for the child, things here that we would just take for granted. The $35 per month covers school supplies, school fees, uniforms, a new pair of shoes each year, a nutritious meal each day at school, and basic medical and dental care.
So Caroline's message was, hello and benedicciones, hello and blessings. Caroline is hiking out with the scout troop as we speak, and I was bitterly disappointed that she couldn't be here today. We had relay games, speed games, and building games. Cup stacking is good for hand and eye coordination and ambidexterity or something, and I can't even spell it, but it doesn't matter. What we did have and what did matter was that all the kids at the AOJ school truly had a great day.
Funny enough, here we think to color and paint the clay pot because we're not so keen on the color of the clay pot, but down there they just love that terracotta.
Yeah, I've got to say, I really enjoyed it, even though it was really laborious work. Although I don't like the color terracotta anymore. I'm glad we did this.
And what God does is takes the simple actions, a smile, a hug, building homes, photography class, and He amplifies that. He amplifies that to His glory.
We tried to do our small part in being a blessing to the people in Guatemala and to share love. In return, the teachers, the AOG staff, and especially the children gave us back much more.
The children found my Spanish most amusing and jumped in to help, taking turns reading paragraphs, just like any scene in any library around the world.
What a fruitful time of sharing and dialogue it was. We connected, and the language barriers faded away with the common bond of social service based on faith and calling.
Most of the families there were overwhelmed. For them, this was like winning the Princess Margaret Home Lottery.
They came up to me and hugged me and thanked me for the treat.
But to actually place a food bag into the arms of each family member as a collective gift from all of us was truly a moment. It was a humbling moment. It was a holy moment.
In the past, we have sponsored children and have never taken the opportunity to connect directly with the child or family. Playing with Alicia and later meeting with her family and sharing a few words in our limited Spanish completely changed the relationship. Already we are planning and praying for the opportunity to return to the school to visit Alicia.
And I'm so thankful that God led us to the Arms of Jesus organization. It was just a pleasure in dealing with the team at AOJ, both here in Pickering and on the ground in Guatemala.
I want to say thank you to Amberlea Presbyterian Church for your support and your work with us in Guatemala, and particular to Mike and this special team.
This is the day.